Today is the day before surgery. I am having a double en bloc capsulectomy tomorrow. Now, what the hell does that mean? That means that the silicone implants that I had put in just over 8 years ago will be removed tomorrow. Not only will the implants be removed, I will also have the scar tissue that encapsulates those implants removed. In addition to that, I'm also having a lift done. Now, I have been very big on the fact, for years, that the conversation of breasts should not be so freaking taboo. All right, so everybody has breasts in every single size. Men, women, everyone has mammary glands. We should all just accept that fact. And everyone's situation and relationship to those things are personal and different. I have a very open relationship with mine because they're a part of who I am, which is part of the reason that I got implants in the first place. So, everybody has their own personal reasons. I had my own personal reasons. I decided to go ahead and get the implants so that I could have a little extra fullness on top. I was planning to do fitness competitions. That dream quickly went down the drain because of the implants. It's a mix of emotions today, being the last day that I'm going to have my implants. I'm very excited to get them out. I'm also very scared to get them out. Currently, just, for the record, so that I can see kind of how it goes later, I am currently a 36I. That's a bra size. For people who are not aware, they really do go up that large. There are only certain stores I can go to in order to get that size, which is very frustrating. I'm aware that that's not a normal size for a lot of people, but for me, that's a very normal size for me. People just never really realize just how big they are. Until you try to put your head in someone's bra and then you realize it covers your entire face. Yeah. Those kinds of situations. So yes, so I'm currently at 36I. I'm hoping to go down to maybe triple D, double D. I don't know. I'm kind of scared to go too small personally. And again, it's how I relate to my body. What made me figure out that I need to get an explant? There are actually tons of reasons. There is something called breast implant illness, and there are a whole laundry list of side effects and symptoms of breast implant illness. So let me just read the list here. Anxiety, fatigue, joint pain, muscle pain, insomnia, brain fog, difficulty concentrating, memory loss, limb numbness or tightening, vertigo, fever or chills, muscle weakness, temperature intolerance, sensitivity to light, sensitivity to sound, difficulty swallowing, hair loss, dry skin or hair, slow healing, sinus infections, recurrent illness, candida or yeast infections, skin rashes and lesions, visual disturbance, choking, feeling, ringing in ears, headaches, depression, decreased libido, mood swings, sharp pains in breast, weight gain, food intolerance, swollen or tender lymph nodes, autoimmune symptoms or diagnosis, chronic fatigue syndrome symptoms, fibromyalgia symptoms, inflammation, heart palpitations, irritable bowel or bladder, shortness of breath, and night sweats. That's just a general on the symptoms. When you have breast implant illness, you will most likely have several of these. So I have anxiety, fatigue, joint pain, brain fog, difficulty concentrating, memory loss, muscle weakness, temperature intolerance, which is part of the reason I always wear jackets, sensitivity to light, which is why I have blue blocker glasses. Otherwise, I'm already getting a headache and it's only about 8 o'clock in the morning. Sensitivity to sound, hair loss, dry hair and skin, ringing in ears, headaches, depression, decreased libido, mood swings like you would never believe, sharp pains in breast, weight gain. We're talking, I gained 30 pounds in 6 months when I was still measuring out all of my food and training 6 days a week. I gained 30 pounds in 6 months. And then I gained 30 pounds the next year. And then I gained 30 pounds the next year. So I put on 90 pounds in 2.5 years. Swollen or tender lymph nodes, the ones that hurt for me are under my armpit. They're just very uncomfortable. It's like something's under there. Autoimmune symptoms or diagnosis. Hello, PCOS. Chronic fatigue syndrome symptoms, like crazy. Inflammation all over, especially in the midsection and around my face. And heart palpitations, shortness of breath, and night sweats. That's my list of symptoms. So you can see it's kind of an extensive list. And like I said, you would usually have a majority of them. So that's where I'm at. It's very uncomfortable. It's very frustrating. It makes it so that you kind of don't recognize yourself anymore. People around you don't really recognize you. It's extremely frustrating. And attempting to just kind of mask whatever's going on, or pretend that nothing's going on, and it's not easy. It's not comfortable. Like I said, like, I'm an eye. They're very large. The implants that I have are very small, in case you're wondering. They're actually not huge. I am naturally very top heavy. And I've talked about this in, old videos. I talked about it in Stretch Does Not Mean Support. And then I also talked in another one of like Boobs 102, I think, or Boobs Part 2, I think is the name of that video. Talked about this, situation with breasts for a very long time. I don't think that breasts should be so taboo to talk about. I mean, it's like talking about fingers. It's part of how you interact with the world around you, honestly. It's part of a self-identity, but especially when like growing up and you can't do anything about that. Let's just say I was in elementary school and wearing 2 sports bras at a time trying to strap these things down because it was how I was perceived by other people. Girls are jealous, boys are looking at you differently. It's weird, right? And there's no reason for that. There's always this relationship that women have with their breasts, especially if they're large, because you get treated differently. And I'm sure that women with smaller breasts feel like they get treated differently as well. And I'm not gonna say that you're wrong, because obviously I've gone through, different sizes before. When I had the implants put in, I was an F, which was kind of small for me, especially because they were, let's clarify, they were empty Fs, okay? So they just kind of hung. So I would have to kind of, tuck them into my bras. We've all been there. So I had them lifted and I had small implants put in. The implants I have are 325 on the right, or 325 cc's on the right, and then I have 350 on the left. It's a textured silicone. And the identification card that I had for my implants got flooded during one of our house floods, because we got flooded more than once. So I lost the card with the actual numbers for my implants on them, but I do know what's in there. We'll definitely find out tomorrow. It's interesting. I'm just kind of, I think all day today and tomorrow, at least until I get knocked out, I'll kind of be on this verge of crying and not crying. It's gonna be okay though. And I really like the doctor I'm going to. He's well experienced, which makes me feel better. He's never punctured a lung, which is good to know, because that is a serious concern, because the implants go in and then they form scar tissue, which is that capsule. So when you get the implants taken out, you really need to make sure that you're getting a capsulectomy, not just an explant. The explant means that they're just taking out the implant. You need to get that en bloc capsulectomy done so that they actually take all of the scar tissue with it, because the scar tissue can be just as damaging as the implant in there, because there's a lot of chemicals that leach out of the implants, which they don't tell you about. So the chemicals leach out and then it gets kind of, sucked up into the scar tissue and it just stays there. So the whole implant needs to come out, as well as all of the scar tissue. All of that will be removed. And then for the lift, actual breast tissue doesn't get removed with the lift. What they'll do is just kind of take the top layer of skin and then close those back up, pushing all of the tissue back up into what's left there. And then they'll also move the nipples. My original surgery left me with what is called lollipop scars. So it just goes around my nipple and down. The en bloc capsulectomy with lift, I will have the full anchor. So I will have around the nipple, down, and then the bottom anchor part, which is not going to be super comfortable. Luckily, I have a really good support system. My husband is amazing. My daughter is amazing. A lot of stuff going on. Just a couple of extra things I need to pick up before surgery. I have the weird tights that I have to wear so that I don't get blood clots in my legs. I have a special kind of soap that I need to wash with. I have bras that look really tiny. Oh, you guys, they look so small. But we'll see. I mean, obviously I have a ton of hoodies, okay? So that's one good thing. Obviously, I have a ton of zip-up hoodies. I'm actually gonna go to the store and get like a bunch of pajama pants, because what you don't consider is that you really cannot pull or push anything. You don't understand what your pectorals are involved in. And when I got my implants put in, I found this out. I tried to open up my pill bottles and they make it real flippin' awesome, because you have to push down the top to turn the pill bottle in order to open your pain meds. Do you see the genius here? When I had my implants done and I needed my pain meds, my husband was at work and I ended up like almost calling my neighbor because I was in pain and I couldn't open the freaking bottle. So all of my bottles are open right now. I have like my pain meds, my antibiotic, something for nausea and vomiting, and I forget what the last one is. It says it on the bottle, all right? But all that's been picked up, that's done. I've got my hose. I need alcohol pads so I can clean the tubes because my doctor always puts in tubes apparently to make sure that you're getting the fluid out, which is gonna be super creepy. Okay, so the tube thing. I thought the tubes just went in like this. No, they go all the way up to like up here. So they'll, all right, let me stand up. You can probably see how big I am. All right, so the tubes come in here and then they will wrap up to like the collarbone. Yeah, you can't see. That's how big they are. I cannot imagine pulling that sucker out. Yeah. The tubes make me nervous. So yeah, and they get kind of stitched in place. So you get like stitches on the side to hold the tube in place. And you still have to clean the tube. So you have to like pinch and then pinch the tube at the top and then alcohol pad and wipe it clean. It'll be interesting. Luckily, my doctor is only about 20 minutes away. So it shouldn't be too bad to make it in for appointments and things. I'm just getting nervous. And like I said, everybody has reasons for getting implants. I don't judge anybody for getting implants. Hell, I got them. I understand. Future plans. The doctor understands that I have a lot of breast tissue. He thinks it's absolutely crazy that I got implants. And here's the issue. When I got the implants, I was like a size 0. Literally, size 0. I was 117 pounds, I think. So getting the implants kind of made sense because, I mean, I was much smaller. Now, not 117 pounds. And that means a lot of extra breast tissue. My body instantly starts stashing in the tatas there. So I have very heavy breasts. The tissue there is very heavy. So even after the explant and the lift, I will still have a very large top half. That's okay with me. Like I said, I'm not totally comfortable with getting reduced right now. So the plan is pretty much that I will go ahead and get the lift and the capsulectomy now. And then down the line, after my body naturally starts allowing me to lose weight again and be healthy, then I can go in and get the reduction that I will probably need then. Could have just not gotten implants and just done the lift and we would be way better off right now. But hindsight is 2020. From here we move forward. Surgery day is tomorrow. This video is already way too long. Wish me luck, you guys.